Riku is just your average kid with an extraordinary imagination. He has a daily chess match against his imaginary friend. Sounds wild, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Well, being this awesome imaginary chess partner is always there, guiding Riku, and pushing him to amp up his strategy game. One day, their friendly game is rudely interrupted as a monstrous dragon decides to play a demolition derby with Riku's city. Talk about a buzzkill. Boom, there goes the neighborhood, leaving Riku as the last boy standing in a desolate landscape. Just when Riku's getting his bearings, he spots a girl, but she's no ordinary girl. She's an ex machina, a powerful robot. With terror in his heart, Riku grabs his chess box and hightails it out of there. In this world, there is a ranking of 16 races based on their strength, a wild mix of humans, furries, robots, dragons, and even gods. The only problem is that they can't seem to get along, constantly fighting each other to get their hands on the Suniaster. The Suniaster, my friends, is no ordinary knick-knack. This legendary artifact is the golden ticket to ultimate power, and it bestows the worthy holder with the prestigious title of the one true god. But here's the twist, in this crazy power struggle, us humans are the underdogs, pretty much everyone else's playthings. Bummer, right? Now, back to Riku. This kid, who once played chess with his imaginary friend, finds himself leading the human resistance, representing the last colony of humanity amidst the chaos. One day, Riku and his crew brave their way toward a shipwreck tucked amidst the ruins. They've gotta beat the clock, outrun the impending rain. But this ain't your usual shower, folks. This is ash rain, black as night and searing hot, a grim souvenir of the catastrophic war waged by the sentient races in a power-crazed tug of war, causing the Ex Machina to go full world destruct mode. Riku always saw this ashy downpour as a tragic tribute, a rain of remembrance for the lives the war had claimed. Amidst the grim dance of the soot, Riku's summoned to check out a newfound relic, a world map, possibly drafted by the godly big shots called the Old Deus, the Rank 1 race. The map seems to show a delicate balance of power between all 16 races. Riku's brain starts whirring as he makes comparisons with his own map, desperate for a sliver of hope, a clue to rewind the clock and restore the world to its former glory. Riku's mission, simple to say but tough to pull off. He wants to shepherd the remnants of humanity to a safer haven, a chance to restore the dwindling human race hanging by a thread. Out of nowhere, their brief moment of tranquility shatters as a demonic beast swoops down, toppling the already broken buildings and seeking to snuff out the life within. Amidst the panic and chaos, Riku, Yvonne, and another comrade lag behind. Cornered, with no escape in sight, Riku makes a heartbreaking command to Yvonne: to die. Yvonne accepts this order with a brave heart, charging at the monstrous threat, giving his life to buy time for Riku and the others to make their escape. When they finally reach the safety of their hideout, Riku has the grim task of breaking the news to Yvonne's child. The child's response shatters Riku, her words stinging like a blade, "You should have died instead." Overwhelmed by guilt, Riku retreats to his quarters, weeping in solitude, feeling like a puppet master of death. But life is relentless, and so must Riku be. Even as he questions his existence and purpose, he knows he must keep fighting, keep seeking ways to not just survive, but to thrive amidst this war, for himself, for humanity, for hope. Riku leaves the hideout and finds solace in a secluded cave adorned with delicate blooms, momentarily letting his guard down to appreciate their beauty. But his peaceful moment is cut short by a surprise ambush. His hand instinctively reaches for his weapon, only to be halted by a newcomer, Ex Machina. Expecting hostility, Riku braced himself for the worst, but instead, he gets a kiss, an unexpected strategy on the android's part to spark Riku's reproductive interest. Confused, Riku inquires why she isn't hostile, why she's interested in, well, procreation. She lays out her cards. She yearns to understand the human heart. Having disconnected from her hive mind, basically her mothership, her mission is purely academic, no evil agenda involved, just genuine curiosity, and her preferred method of study, a good old game of chess. She proposes a challenge. Win or lose, the endgame would be her accompanying Riku back home. Post-match, they journey back together. That's when Shuvi gets her name and a quick lesson on blending in with humans to avoid standing out in Riku's community. Upon their arrival, Riku's self-proclaimed sister, Koran, who by the way friend-zoned herself, assumes Shuvi to be Riku's girlfriend, inviting an awkward entry to their home. As an android, Shuvi is puzzled. How have humans survived this long, devoid of the power to defeat machines and gods? She believes that unraveling the mysteries of the human heart might hold the key. Riku, however, is not sold. He challenges her motives, his emotions reaching boiling point. He vents his pent-up guilt and sorrow, accusing her as he grieves for his fallen comrades. Shubi, seeing his raw pain, offers him an option. If killing her would ease his heartache, he could do so. A waterfall of tears streams down Riku's face, hiding under his blanket, while Shubi, observing his sorrow, gets her first taste of understanding human sadness. The new day brings with it new discussions about the heart's intricacies. Riku and Shubi get to know each other better, sharing life's little details and discussing their shared ambitions. Shubi presents Riku with a handmade telescope, a token to aid his map navigation, and a testament to their growing weird relationship. Shubi escorts Riku back to the site of their first encounter, a spot strangely untouched by the surrounding destruction. She reveals its secret. The elves have preserved this location, making it an emergency shelter and a cutting-edge weapons research facility. Entering a chamber, they find towering pillars etched with cryptic glyphs and a strange weapon. As Riku puzzles over the coded language on the floor, they're ambushed by the elven security system. In the ensuing chaos, Shubi protects Riku, but they're trapped. Shubi finds herself ensnared in an energy sphere that short-circuits her systems and sends Riku crashing against the doors. Waking up, she copies the attack that was used on her to blast open the doors, giving them a chance to escape. Outside, a raging storm forces them to seek shelter. They pass the time with a series of chess games, Shubi winning round after round. Even though he knows he's outmatched, Riku refuses to give up. When Shubi queries his stubborn persistence, he retorts that she can't beat him every time. This simple assertion reveals to Shubi the resilience of human will, the relentless determination to survive that's kept humans alive against all odds. Emotion wells up in Riku again. He voices his despair, his confusion about what he should do next. Shubi, ever eager to understand the human heart, asks about his deepest desires, pledging to help fulfill them in her quest to understand what truly moves the human spirit. As the storm subsides, Riku and Shubi find themselves awestruck by the calm beauty that follows. They discuss the war, its meaning, and potential ways to put an end to it. Back at their community hideout, chaos strikes in the form of two warring races. The ground quakes under their onslaught, prompting a swift evacuation. Koran takes charge, ensuring everyone's safe exit. Meanwhile, Riku is locked in his room, perfecting emotionally charged stunts for strategic plans, his actions meticulously noted by Shubi. But when Koran arrives, urging him to evacuate, she finds him in tears, afraid their home will be destroyed again. She offers comfort and tells him to leave everything to her. In response, Riku decides to stay back, vowing to prevent any more deaths. He delivers a passionate speech, rallying his men against the gods who seek destruction and power. He stirs them into joining a war that he admits isn't theirs. His men agree, ready to follow their leader into battle. Later, as Riku and Shubi journey to Riku's new hideout, Shubi confesses her uncertainty about understanding the human heart. She's puzzled by the willingness of Riku's men to march into a war they know they might not survive. Riku, in turn, introduces her to his life philosophy, revealing a potential cheat code in the game of life. He calls himself and his men ghosts, already considering them dead as part of his strategy. Then, he makes a bold confession: he's in love with Shubi. Yet, Shubi rejects him with a shocking admission. She is the one who destroyed his home when he was a kid, and she was the same ex machina he ran away from. Understanding Shubi's role in the war, Riku reveals that he knew all along. He believes their meeting was destiny unfolding. In a heart-stirring declaration of love, he moves Shubi to tears, and she agrees to become his wife, despite being an emotionless android. Their marriage brings joy to Koran, expanding her family. Days pass, and Riku and Shubi's plan is put into action. An ambush by war beasts, but they stop right before attacking him. The black ash is toxic for every race in the world, and he covered his arm with it so he could talk to other races. Riku spins a tale of the dwarves' secret weapon plot, inciting tension among the races. He repeats the story to the elves, spreading the seeds of chaos. Back home, Shubi provides Riku with an antidote for the toxic black ashes that have been gradually damaging his body. He already lost one eye and is close to losing his arm. Riku's plot starts bearing fruit. He's literally playing a big game of chess. Every race is his pieces, and he's using them to make moves for him to get the victory. Koran visits Riku's hideout, proudly reporting 0 casualties on their side. But her joy is tainted by worry upon seeing Riku's deteriorating condition due to the black ashes. Riku reassures her, claiming the end is near. Riku unveils the last part of his master plan: to make the top 3 gods compete. The Suniaster will only appear in the greatest power of the planet, which means only the last standing can summon it and get the title of the one true god. His hope: that the humans, not a god, will claim the Suniaster. Riku's strength dwindles, and he falls, insisting Koran return to the others while he completes his mission. Shubi, seeing his dire state, pleads with him to rest, promising to stay by his side. But she's afraid of losing him and decides to leave and complete the last preparations of their plan alone. While planting the last of the crucial barrier activators, Shubi encounters Jibril from the god race, who challenges her to a fight. Clinging to Riku's rules of neither killing nor dying, Shubi tries to negotiate. But when words fail, her machine gears spring to life. Their battle is fierce, but despite Shubi's relentless attacks, Jibril remains unscathed. With Shubi on the back foot and her leg severed by a falling boulder, she attempts to connect to her mothership, seeking their help. With Jibril hot on her heels and the cluster's internal squabbling hindering her, Shubi finds herself cornered. A devastating blast from Jibril causes severe damage to her unit. As Shubi keeps pleading with her cluster, she finally achieves a partial synchronization, transforming her into a formidable super machine. Choosing to absorb Jibril's attacks as part of her strategy, Shubi endures until a direct hit near her life source leaves her vulnerable. As she falls to the ground, Jibril labels her a mistake, a term that confounds Shubi. Her synchronization completes, even as Jibril pronounces her a threat to their race, a threat to be eliminated. A catastrophic beam from the heavens strikes the battlefield, hitting both Jibril and Shubi. But while Jibril survives, Shubi loses her life. Riku awakens to the harrowing scene, a bird delivering a heart-wrenching message that leaves him in torment. He grieves over the ceaseless losses he's endured, particularly Shubi's death, which came all too soon. He then meets Isaac, an ex-machina messenger carrying Shubi's last words, to never give up. Isaac hands him the ring from their marriage, reinforcing their mutual commitment to their plan. The day of the war's commencement arrives, with Isaac leading the initial assault. However, upon seeing the three major races advancing with their destructive weapons, Isaac and his androids withdraw. A colossal energy sphere forms from their combined powers, prompting the activation of Shubi's barrier activators. The protective shield diverts the energy ball, minimizing casualties by causing it to explode far from the battleground. Armed with Shubi's machinery and weapons, Riku, now donned in a cluster armor, positions himself. He releases a beam towards the ground, unearthing the Suniaster and propelling the world towards momentary destruction and subsequent rebirth. Riku attempts to seize the Suniaster, but instead disintegrates with the lingering remnants of war and darkness. He starts to tear up, thinking about Shubi's last words and how he failed her while his body vanishes away. Without any other option, he starts pleading for the god of games. He prays for the first time in his life, offering all his worthless life and efforts to the god, and his last offer, the Suniaster. He pleads the god to use it and restore peace to the world, where they could play against each other once again. Tet, his imaginary friend and the god of games, materializes, claiming the Suniaster and the title of the one true god. In his newfound role, Tet uses omnipotent power to recreate the world without war. The only way to solve conflicts, it's by playing games. Watch this next video. See you on the next one.